So during the summer, I wrecked my car. It was my fault at the intersection that's by Best Buy. And so I'm driving across in front of Eastgate Mall because we're going to notice something about all these intersections. Look at these lights, okay, at this intersection at the mall. They have the yellow frames around the lights that make them stand out better against the sun in the background. So we just passed traffic light set number 1, and it has the yellow frames around the lights. Now we're stopping. I'm in auto drive, so the car stop. It's deciding to stop versus run into cars. And you see these lights. So you see the lights at the actual main mall entrance lights, and they have the yellow frames around them that help them to be blocked out from the sun and effects. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to point something out, because after I had my wreck, which was my fault based on what the eyewitnesses said, I would never enter an intersection when I thought it wasn't green, but eyewitnesses said I did, so it was my fault. Since then I've had a lot of people tell me about how they had wrecks at that intersection, or they ran the light accidentally and didn't have a wreck. And so I wanted to at some point drive across here and show this. So you see the yellow frames around the lights here at the main Eastgate Mall lights. Okay. Now we're going to get up here to a set of lights that are to get onto 32. And so I don't know if you can see them yet, but these lights have the yellow frames around the lights so that you can see them better against the sun at different times of day. And so now we're there. Now we're coming up to the light where I had my wreck. And look, these lights do not have the yellow frames around them. So now there's a big pickup in front of me, so you probably can't see as good. But these lights do not have those yellow frames. So of all the lights coming across this road, you get to these, they don't have the yellow frames on them. Okay, and so they don't stand out as good against the backdrop, and that's a very busy intersection. I'm gonna make a bet that there's a lot more accidents at that intersection than at those other intersections that we went through. Now, we are coming up to the next set of lights, and they don't have the yellow frames on them either. Okay, but this is not nearly, it's getting a more busy intersection because, the road traffic has expanded here. But I got the car set to navigate to the township center so I could illustrate this. So the last 2 sets of lights on Eastgate Boulevard don't have the yellow frames on them. And I'm betting that intersection in front of Best Buy has more wrecks than any of these. This intersection here, the Eichholz Road one, is a less traveled intersection than those other ones down by the mall. But something should give. And I'm not blaming anything. It's my responsibility what happened to me. But why is it inconsistent? Why don't every one of these lights have those yellow frames? If the yellow frames help people to better see the light against the background, why don't we have the yellow frames at every one of these intersections?
I just want to point out that I also drove through the intersection of Old State Route 74 and Eastgate Boulevard, and those lights have the yellow frames as well at the far end of the mall.